Crusaders tonight is at the top of the key, Lizzie Romer. In the paint, number 15, Lisa Alice. Number 15, Lauren Price. And Grayson, you saw on that last possession by the Crusaders, Lizzie Romer, it takes no time finding her from three-point land as she shoots another. As she hit her first, she goes 50%.
Well, that's Lizzie Romer doing what she does best, as that has been her game throughout her career on this Crusaders team, and she's looking to continue that throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, and Lizzie Romer has been a key contributor in each of Kapaun Carmel's wins thus far, as she just, when she is hot on the court, she heats up and she just keeps that momentum going, keeping her team alive and keeping those possessions alive.
This Northwest team coming into this game, seeing a little bit of success, but with such a young team, they're looking to develop a lot of experience, and maybe they will improve over these next years. Time will show.
And Sanders finding their scorer, Lizzie Romer, in the corner, as that one is no good, and Northwest gets the jump ball off of that board.
Good fight for the rebound by Palace there, as that is something that this Kapaun girls team needs to work on, is getting those boards up on both the offensive and defensive glass.
And Kapaun Carmel showing press early in the game, trying to fluster the Grizzlies early.
On the court right now for the Northwest Grizzlies, we have number 21, Elia Richard, who's going to be checking in the ball here, to number 2, Aubrey Lohman, the freshman for the Grizzlies, as she throws it out of bounds. Also on the court, we have number 33, Kalina Hallman. We also, number 10, Carly Wimberly. That is their senior forward.
And Spears trying to create something there. Out to Kais at the top of the key, as whistle is called on that one. And that is Northwest possession. That is Kais's first foul of the game. And Kapaun Carmel just trying to stay disciplined tonight against a solid Grizzlies team. Both of these teams just trying to gain a foothold in the G-Wall. Both of them coming in with just 3 wins in the season. So a win here for both teams would be momentous. Trying to kick off their season and prepare for the playoffs, trying to fix things down the road. As that one flies out of bounds, Richard
that was a better job by the Northwest there, making that time of possession increase, as they had been short-lived with passes going out of bounds and kind of some sloppy turnovers on their part. So definitely a better job by keeping the ball in their hands for longer.
And Pfister, last home game we broadcasted, she was out against Bishop Carroll, and that proved to be a key loss in that game. Pfister really brings the firepower for the Crusaders, as she might be young and not as experienced as those older players like Lizzie Romer, but she can find her way around the court as she gets up some good shots from the perimeter.
Pfister, before she was out due to that lower ankle injury, she had a great performance in the game versus the South Titans, dropping about 24 points in that one. Maybe she can continue her offensive success here in this one.
And they will obviously, Grayson, try to get into her hands like that one. Even though she hit it, just trying to get those second chance opportunities and get it into her hands. And that foul will be on Lawfer, as that will be the second team foul for the Crusaders. As Clara Hawker, the sophomore, checks in for the Crusaders, and Sadie Sanders checks in as well. And both teams just trying to establish a rhythm here, Grayson. What can you tell me about the game thus far?
Well, the Crusaders have done a great job on the offensive side, not so much on the defensive side, even though Northwest is scoreless right now. It has been a lot of self-brought turnovers on their part, but Kapaun needs to stay out of foul trouble here, as that is the third one already.
And Richard hits her first from the free throw line. Both teams, this is both teams' first chance at the free throw line. And I think, Grayson, tonight, both teams will need to find success at the free throw line if they're just trying to get by. Those are some free points, and they cannot pass those by.
It has been a recurring theme this season that Kapaun has been missing a lot of their free throws, which they definitely need to be making to get themselves with greater leads on the other teams.
And that shot is no good. A missed opportunity there, as Fury cannot hit. KMC just trying to get it in the hands of their shooters, trying to create any opportunity. Up 8 at this point. They are well in the driver's seat. Some early points got them up. Two very quick transition buckets, and then a three-pointer by Lizzie Romer, just showing the speed that this KMC offense can operate.
A key player to this Northwest offense is their senior guard, number 1, Mackenzie Edwards, as she has experience on this team as she is a senior and can play well in pivotal moments for this offense and defense.
And Anaya Richard just trying to move the ball around the court for a team. Great passing by the Grizzlies, setting up an opportunity as that one goes in the hands of the Crusaders.
Still the same thing here from the Grizzlies. Lots of self-imploding on the offensive side, just throwing passes out of bounds, and just need to be able to take care of the ball a little bit better.
As Romer finds a way on that one right through the defense, slicing to the bucket. Richard in the perimeter, moving as that one sends her to the free throw line.
Okay, the personal is on Lauren Kais, her second. Team number 5.
And that will be Kais's second foul of the contest. And Coach Will Ingalls obviously does not want his players in foul trouble early, as Kais is subbed out for Pfister.
A big thing for this Kapaun team is the level of youth on this roster, as there's one senior, Lizzie Romer, a key player to this team on the entire roster, and the rest we have seen lots of sophomores and freshmen on the court this year, as long as a handful of juniors. So this team definitely going to improve over the next years as they develop.
And one thing Lizzie Romer told me, Grayson, is that she wanted to help those younger players develop. She wanted to keep them motivated day in and day out and keep this team sharp on their toes. And obviously with those younger players, you're trying to just keep them focused on the everyday task. As Stella Fury drive it down the court. That one is not good, but just another transition miss for the Crusaders. When I talked to Coach Will Ingalls earlier in the season, he said that is something they wanted to limit. They wanted to get as many transition buckets as possible. They missed a lot earlier in the season. And they've seemed to figure that out a little bit, but that one right there is one that they wish that they could have back. And Pfister at the perimeter, moving inside, no good.
Good look by Pfister there, trying to create an offensive opportunity, just came up a little bit short on the layup.
and Northwest just allowing KMC to penetrate right through the defense and get into the paint. There seems to be no stop by the defense, and KMC trying to utilize that all night long, as when they can find their way into the paint, they always have a great game.
And that is Northwest senior guard Mackenzie Edwards at the line, playing her key role on this team, trying to get them some points on the board here in the first quarter.
As Edwards hits her second, that makes the Grizzlies down by 7 with just 2 minutes left in the first quarter of play. Still early in this game, both teams trying to find any momentum as possible, as Romer's bucket is no good. Pfister out to Fury. No. As that will be in the hands of the Grizzlies, but poked away. And both teams just trying to grab a hold of that ball. Fury with the three. Excuse me, with the two-pointer. That one is good.
Correction, Clara Hawker on the bucket there.
And again, KMC, number 13, Maddie Spears, and number 21, Mason Callis, checking in for Northwest, number 10, Carly Wiggly.
In that last possession, KMC couldn't really come down with the rebound. Both teams were struggling to grab a hold of that ball, and they get a little bit of a do-over right here, trying to calm things down and set up some plays.
That's the first for Mackenzie Edwards, so nothing too crazy for fouling on either side of the ball.
And Pfister, no good. She normally hits those from the perimeter. She's just trying to find her stride. KMC resetting from the top. Pfister with the screen. And Romer KMC moving the ball quite well, just trying to set up any opportunity. As that is a foul on the Grizzlies.
This Kapaun team here having a long time holding onto the ball in this possession. Northwest needs to find a way to get it back in their hands and get on the offensive side of the ball.
And Spears on for the inbound for the Crusaders. Romer at the top of the key. Spears cutting in, no good, as that one is off the hands of Fury. Grizzlies ball. And with just 35 seconds left in the first, Northwest just trying to set up an opportunity. As Lomon hits the first three of the game for the Grizzlies, a big score to set them up just down by 6. And
10
Romer
seconds left on the
double
clock here.
teamed. Finding Hawker.
And that's the end of the first period. Right after one, it's Kapaun 13, Northwest 7.
This Kapaun team already in this first quarter, you can tell that they have developed a lot since the first games of the year. Holding onto the ball more, moving it around, passing, finding open lanes to cut through on offense, and being smart on the defensive side, setting up their defense, being able to get in front of the fast break, not letting teams in front of them, making sure to stay in front of them. Northwest definitely needing to find some more prominence on the offensive side of the ball here, as they need to make sure that this lead by the Crusaders doesn't get out of hand, as it has already been a low-scoring game for both teams.
And Cape Mount Carmel just trying to find their stride from the perimeter, as they've only hit one thus far, but just trying to heat up and do what they do best, finding those key shooters, Lizzie Romer and McCoy Pfister, as when they are red hot from the perimeter, things just seem to drop. And Edwards trying to set up an opportunity for her Grizzlies. And Richards' pass almost intercepted, as that one is good. Hallman on the three-pointer. And Pfister finding the backdoor pass, no good.
We've seen many of those opportunities from Kapaun and missed on going short on layups or missing the shot when there's wide open opportunities for them to score.
And that was just another one, as Phoebe Loffer was found by McCoy Pfister, just not able to let that one go. As Pfister intercepts that pass, taking it right down the court. Another transition bucket for the Crusaders. KMC establishing themselves well on the transition part of the court, trying to get any ounce of turnovers as possible from this Grizzlies offense, as Reed knocks down that bucket.
Pfister fouled hard on the drive into the lane there.
Northwest personal foul is on Carly Wimberly. Her team's first and second period. At the line to shoot two is Kapaun's McCoy Pfister.
Number 10, Carly Wimberly, another guard for the Grizzly team. One of the other seniors on the team, along with Mackenzie Edwards. Carly and Mackenzie Edwards and Wimberly are the ones that we see on the court most out of their seniors on this roster.
And KMC's first trip to the line is good. Both free throws hit by the sophomore McCoy Pfister. KMC just trying to fluster this Grizzlies offense with the tight man defense, not letting anything get past. KMC push them out onto the perimeter. And that'll be a jump ball called. KMC with possession. Well in the driver's seat, 17-11, Cape Mount Carmel with 6 minutes left in the first half of play. Pfister in the perimeter, no good. Palace coming down with that one. Another second chance opportunity, as that one will be a jump ball.
Northwest needs to take advantage of these opportunities like that of getting possession of the ball here. Need to move it down the court and get success and put some points on the board.
And Hawker checking in for Loffer, as Loffer commits her first personal foul. And Edwards just trying to find a teammate as open. KMC not letting anything past. Hallman is fouled in the paint. The Grizzlies doing a great job of moving the ball around, trying to include each of their teammates, as that one finally comes up. And Hallman is sent to the line for 2.
That'll be a miss on the first free throw. Both teams already a little bit struggling on at the free throw line.
And number 30, Aubrey Navarrete.
As Hallman's second is no good. Pfister with the big pass to Romer. Back to Pfister, trying to set up another opportunity. And that was Palace on the pick and roll. Back to Romer, no good. Another missed 3 by the Crusaders.
Romer yet to find her groove at the three-point line tonight. Definitely looking to maybe improve that as we continue on this game.
And great job by Pfister getting her hands on that one, as it will eventually fall out of bounds. Sadie Sanders checking in for McCoy Pfister. And Romer coming away with the rebound, setting up another transition for the Crusaders. And Sanders' bucket is blocked. And that will be another jump ball as the possession stays with the Crusaders. Both teams just trying to create something on the offensive front. Capon getting that ball around very nicely, finding Pfister and Romer on the court as Romer connects with a layup on that one.
Romer doing a great job just seeing the open lane there and taking advantage of it.
And Spears delivers a nice pass to Palace as she finds her first points of the game. And Palace is an excellent scorer in the paint. And great job by KMC delivering the big pass down the court, setting up the transition opportunity.
Aubrey Lohman will take a fall there as she gets tripped up by Sadie Sanders.
Team's third. Out again for KMC, number 22, LA Nip, and number 41, Stella Fury.
And Ellie Nip checks in for Sadie Sanders,
Crusaders basketball.
as that one will go in the hands of the Crusaders once again. KMC up 10 with 3:30 left in the first half of play. And that one nearly intercepted by the Grizzlies, as that will be the first personal foul by Hallman. KMC lucky to have that one back. And Palace on the perimeter, setting up another opportunity for Romer as she is fouled as well.
Northwest personal foul is on Haley Nave, her third. Team's third.
Nave with their third on that one. And you got to think, being in foul trouble, Coach Christy Comas does not want from her team. Want to keep them fresh and ready for any moment in this game. And a pick and roll to Palace, as that one is good. As
That was a great
delivers once again on the pick and roll. And Navarrete getting down the court and hitting the big three-pointer for her team. And KMC down the court once again. No good. As Northwest retains possession.
And this will be Ella Rudy's first time checking into this game, giving Palace a break after her long stint on the court, which turned out to be beneficial for this Kapaun team.
And both teams trying to add to their score. 2:30 left before halftime. And I'm sure Grace and both teams are going to be in the locker room and talking over what went right, what went wrong in this game. And they're going to nitpick each of those details and then come out of half with a new plan. Tell me a little bit about what has happened in this game so far.
I think Kapaun, I don't think they really need to change much on the offensive side of things. They've done a great job looking for opportunities, feeding the ball into the paint, shooting from beyond the arc. Definitely transition points have been a key for them tonight as Northwest continues to make self-inflicted mistakes on offense. But Northwest definitely needing to maybe just slow down the game, as a lot of them have been missed passes, drops. Just slow it down, maybe make your own pace of this game, and make sure you get those looks.
You're exactly right, Grayson. They just need to calm down and relax and go back to the basics of what works, as that is another tip away by Fury. And Fury, once again, no good on the three-point attempt, as KMC retains possession on a loose ball from Edwards. And Fury around the perimeter. Great passing by KMC. Setting up a basket as Romer drives. No good. And a loose ball on the court. Both teams trying to regain the ball, as Hawker is found wide open. Nice assist by Spears.
Hawker's fourth point of this game. She has had a lot of time on the court, been beneficial. Defense, hustling around, getting rebounds. And she had that deep jump shot earlier just inside of the three-point line.
And Knipp and Hawker both check out for the Crusaders, as Romer and Pfister check in with just under a minute left. KMC adding some final points to the board, as Pfister's three-pointer no good. And Romer on the inbound for the Crusaders. Spears at the top of the key. Rudy in the paint. Loose ball. As another jump ball will be called. And Grayson, it seems like there have been an overly large amount of jump balls called in this game. Why? Why do you think that?
Well, there's just been a lot of the ball being loose around on the ground, which isn't a thing as a coach or a player you want to see in this game. You want to make sure you have solid grasp of the ball, and both teams just kind of fighting for it on the ground and both doing it fairly cleanly, so that's just why you see the jump ball, not many fouls here. But we wouldn't see as many if this team would just, they need to clean it up and just keep their hands on the ball as well as possible.
And I think having the jump balls might be better in the fans' perspective, as there have been less fouls called, and both teams have been more aggressive tonight, being able to see the ball on the ground and have an opportunity to get possession for their team. And Reed misses her second, as Spears coming down the court for the Crusaders.
Northwest only making 4 out of their many opportunities to make free throws. Definitely looking to improve that coming out of half, and definitely need to work on those maybe in practice for these upcoming games.
And Fury trying to set up a final shot for the Crusaders, as that one is no good by Romer. As the buzzer sounds for halftime, 25-15, Cape Mount Carmel. We will see you after the break. Hello and welcome back to tonight's broadcast between the Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders and the Northwestl Grizzlies. I'm Andrew Greer. And the Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders are well within the driving seat, up by 10, 25-15. And Grayson, when we ended the first half of play, Kapaun was struggling a little bit from the perimeter, but coming out of the break, we expect them to find a little bit more of their stride in transition, on defense, and on those close range jumpers. Tell me a little bit about the first half. And you're exactly right, Grayson. One thing about last home game before Christmas and break and everything, Lizzie Romer, 5 3-pointers from the field that night against the Golden Eagles. Very solid performance from her, just showing her superstardom for this team and how when she is red hot, the entire team succeeds. Big pass. Frank Fisher sets up a bucket by the Crusaders. Adam Spears on that one. As the Grizzlies also moving it down the court quickly. Coleman in the perimeter. A wide open Wembley. No good. As Fister grabs that rebound, sets up another possession for the Crusaders. She finds a wide open Palace in the paint. No good, out of bounds.
This Crusader team has done a great job of rebounding on both sides of the ball tonight, as seeing that they have not done so in previous matchups. Definitely, maybe they could be that they are outsizing this Grizzly team.
Fister fighting for the ball on the ground, as that will end up in the hands of the Grizzlies. They retain possession. Edwards from three-point land, no good. Of McCoy Fister, she finds space for the layup. 31-15. As another pass nearly intercepted by Palace. As KMC comes up with the steal.
Fister with an impressive play there to run through after the nearly intercepted one and then intercept the next one and keep her feet in bounds and throw it back into her teammates.
That just shows her pure athleticism and her way of manipulating her body to catch that ball and save it for her team. As Palace's first free throw is no good. KMC's second attempt from the free throw line tonight. Not too many fouls committed by the Grizzlies.
Fister, the leading scorer for the Crusaders so far with 10, and definitely not something you see as often as Romer usually puts on a lot of points on the board, but without her finding success behind the three-point line, there hasn't been too much from her. Still has 7 points, but not her typical amount.
And KMC moving a little bit more to a zone man defense, keeping the inside paint open and playing more of a zone defense in there, and then keeping tight man defense on the perimeter. trying to limit the perimeter shooting by the Grizzlies, as that one goes off the foot of Sanders. It will be Grizzlies ball. Edwards double teamed at half court. Wide open Richard. No good. Rebound by Spears. And KMC on the transition once again. Finding Palace along the perimeter. And back to Romer, their star shooter. And KMC doing a great job moving the ball around, not having the ball in one girl's hand for too long, as Spears shoots. No good. KMC keeps the possession alive. Out to Palace, wide open bucket. So that one is good.
Palace has done great on the offensive side tonight, with that being her 9th points of the night. Definitely improving on that aspect of her game tonight.
And foul is called on Sanders. Her third of the night. And Kais and Spears will check out of the game for the Crusaders.
Mackenzie Edwards for the Grizzlies, only having 1 point tonight. Definitely not what she would probably like to see from herself. The rest of the team obviously not doing great on offense so far in this game, as we have mentioned previously, but definitely looking to turn that around here.
And for the Grizzlies, Edwards was a key returner for this season. Steady production all year long last year. Not too much tonight, like you said, only 1 point, but she's just trying to find her way and trying to find her team, get them back on track. And Pfister along the perimeter, finding space, as that one is good. Dissecting the defense for that one. And the Grizzlies with their first timeout of the game. Both timeouts have been saved up until this point.
Definitely, probably from the coach's perspective, trying to get this game not to go too far out of hand, as Northwest came out of the half really not looking like a different team than they did the first half. Kind of sloppy on the offensive side, definitely holding onto the ball better. We haven't seen the ball on the ground as much, but not looking like they're going to find a stop to this Cape in offense. Maybe discussing that in this huddle here, but cannot let this lead grow much more than it already has.
And one thing I will say, Grayson, Northwest trying to force a lot of their passes, making those long heaves down the court, and they have not been going for them. And they've cleaned those up a little bit out of half and stopped with the long transition passes. And that seems to have been a part of their success in limiting turnovers. And KMC has just been prowling on the ball. Every direction, they're ready to intercept the pass. This double team pays off as Pfister down the court again in transition. She has 14 on the night.
Pfister and her Capen teammates have been flying all over the ball defensively, trying to get these intercepted passes. As you mentioned, Northwest loving to heave the ball deep down the court, just not finding success with that at all so far.
And Fury with her first foul. Richard to inbound. As Palace punches that a one out of the air. And another jump ball. Northwest will retain possession. And there again, Grayson, another jump ball. Both teams have been fighting for the ball all night long, trying to stay aggressive on the defensive side.
Northwest, I think they looked a little bit better on defense in the first half. Maybe they're just getting back into the swing of things here. But they could start running out of time here, as this Kapaun offense also came out of the half improving. So you definitely need to amp up your defense if you're this Grizzly team.
And like you said, Grayson, if the Grizzlies are wanting to climb out of this hole, it is a long trek to the top. KMC up by a lot, 38-15. KMC seems to have all the momentum, as the Grizzlies, they can't get the ball moving. They've been having some decent passing, but they just can't find their shooters, and they can't get hot tonight. And Hawker finds Pfister again. Hit Pfister, moving the ball to her playmaker, Romer. So Romer double teamed, and she is fouled.
Palace has been looking great on the offensive board tonight, giving lots of her teammates those second chance opportunities for a bucket. Not putting it up herself as much. Maybe that's something that this Crusader team and their coach, Will Ingles, will look at in the break this week. But definitely some opportunity there for some putback points from her.
You're exactly right, Grayson. And coming out of the long break from Christmas and from the past week, KMC just rejuvenated to play basketball again. And they were able to relax and focus on the little things during that time, perfect their game and their craft. And Romer nearly picking that one off, as that one is good. Lohman on the three-pointer, wide open. Fury trying to set her team up once again. Romer from the perimeter, driving in. She is fouled again.
Northwest personal foul is on Aubrey Navarette, her first, team's fifth. At the line shooting 2 for Kapaun.
And that is Navarette on the foul of Romer. Romer hits her first.
It definitely has been a struggle for Northwest all night, trying to put points on offense, and that is something that, as this game at this point could be out of their hands to get the win. They definitely need to look at this maybe in the off week before their next game.
And Edwards with a risky pass there, as KMC fighting for the ball, as that one eventually comes up in the hands of Fury. Taking it herself coast to coast, no good, as Northwest will grab the rebound. And Stella Fury, great job by the freshman, taking it all the way by herself. I know she didn't convert on that one, but it's just a great job showing leadership in that situation, taking it herself.
And as you bring in leadership there, Andrew, Lizzie Romer, as the only senior on the team, and she very well knows that, trying to instill leadership in those younger teammates so that they can carry forth that energy, bring some community to the team, and make sure that everybody's performing at the highest level they can.
And with the foul of Reed, both teams enter the bonus tonight, as Reed knocks down her second for the Grizzlies. Lauren Kais checking in for Clara Hawker. Romer taking the ball up the court for the Crusaders. Triple team. Looks like the Grizzlies trying to shut down Romer, as she gets off a three-pointer, no good. And Lohman with the deep three, no good. Another rebound by Edwards. Pass right to Fury. She has another steal. Romer wide open on the perimeter, says no, takes it herself, good. Izzy Romer, her 12th bucket of the night for number 12.
Crusaders basketball. Now in the game for KMC number 22.
Romer, although not able to find her groove at the three-point shot tonight, still helping on the offensive side any way she can, whether that's layups or mid-range jump shots, doing a great job to keep herself scoring in this game.
And KMC with another second chance opportunity on the ground. Knip keeps it in the hands of the Crusaders. And once again, another jump ball tonight, Grayson. Both teams staying aggressive, even when KMC is up 24. And Edwards takes it for the Grizzlies. Double teamed at half court as she will be pushed out of bounds.
Time winding down here in the third quarter. Northwest going to have their attempts at free throws here, and then Kapaun will get the ball back. Hopefully the last possession of the quarter in their eyes and get a bucket on it.
And Edwards' first is no good. And Pfister checking in for Fury. Edwards misses her second, and that'll be another jump ball in the possession of, KMC will head to the line.
Northwest struggling to stay out of tangles with the Kapaun players, just fouling on both sides of the ball. Need to look to stay out of that.
And Spears misses her first. And one thing Grayson KMC needs to capitalize on more down the stretch in the season is free throws. Not a great showing tonight. They have been missing those wide open opportunities. And that's something that they wish that they could have back. Even though they're up by quite a bit, KMC needs to perfect that down the stretch. Lohman pulls up from three, as that one is good. Her second of the night, as that will end the third quarter of play. KMC 43-22.
Looking at the upcoming schedule for both teams' next opponent is the Heights Falcons, with the Crusaders playing them on the 16th of the month, and the Grizzlies proceeding to play them on the 23rd. That is a very well playing Heights Falcons girls team, and both teams are going to have a challenge going into that one. Definitely Northwest looking to improve on their game after what we saw tonight.
You're exactly right, Grayson. And one thing Coach Will Ingalls told me earlier in the season is that when that adversity comes later in the season, he has confidence in his players that they will deliver time and time again. No matter the situation, he knows that they are able to perform at a high level. And that is something that trust is important to players. They feel that if their coach trusts them, maybe they'll play better, and they know that somebody has their back. And this KMC team has played like that tonight. They know that their coach trusts them to get the job done. They've missed some shots that they wish they could have back. But for the most part, this KMC team has played very well tonight against a solid Northwest team. Northwest coming in 3-5, just trying to find their momentum once again. But both teams are just trying to get out of that hole that they've dug for themselves. KMC doing a great job tonight, showing that they are a team to be reckoned with in the G-Wall and in Wichita. As Pfister hits on the transition bucket, her 16th point of the night. And Wemby in the paint. Wembley, excuse me.
That is one way to follow your shot there by Wimberly, missing that opportunity to score, but going back to fight for the ball, which is good hustle on her part.
And Romer finding Spears in the perimeter. Spears taking it herself. The floater, no good. But Kais fighting for the basketball, as that will be another jump ball in the hands of Northwest. Richard taking it down for her team. Loman has been good from three-point land. I wouldn't be surprised if they feed it to her. Richard tries to force a shot, no good. Both teams are on the ground. Another jump ball. KMC gets possession.
The Crusaders have a comfortable lead of 23 over this Grizzlies team. Definitely, the game is pretty much almost in their hands, just waiting for that buzzer to sound. Definitely want to keep playing as hard as they can.
And great dish by Romer, finding Kais in the paint. And that just shows her leadership, knowing where her teammates are, fighting the open player. Richard double teamed as she forces another shot. And Loman in the corner, no good. A Palace staying aggressive, as that will be another jump ball going into the possession of Northwest. And Northwest surprisingly getting the ball back, as both teams fighting for that one, trying to keep it in bounds. Eventually the Grizzlies will get it. Hallman, no good. Another trip to the free throw line for the Grizzlies, and they haven't been perfect, but shooting around 50% tonight. The Grizzlies have been quite solid using those opportunities when they have them. Hallman hits her first. And her second knocks down for the Grizzlies, as that makes it 47-24 Cape Mount Carmel. Big pass by Pfister to Kais. In the paint, good. However, whistle will be called. That was a travel by Kais.
Definitely a mistake that can be avoided, but nothing crazy at this point of the game. Just want to stay away from those in the future.
And Spears, good. Pfister connecting with her teammate after she just picked up the loose ball. Loman double teamed, finds a way to get up the shot, and it is good. She has 11 points. Spears slowing the game down for the Crusaders. Trying to find Pfister. No good on the shot. Richard with the spin move at half court. Trying to keep her team in this. She is swatted as Spears and Pfister have that connection. Romer, good. That was a 3-on-1 at the end of that. KMC using that to their advantage. Great job in transition.
There's a great sequence of events by Cape in there, with Palace getting the clean steal from the Grizzlies, moving it down the court perfectly to get to Romer to hit that open layup.
And that foul will be on the Crusaders. Mason Palace, her third foul, as a whole new team checks in for the Crusaders. Sadie Sanders, Claire Hawker, Rudy, Fury, and Loffer all check in. Richard in the corner, no good. Not her first time shooting that one.
Rudy holding onto the ball as she's fouled there. Good job fighting for that rebound and getting the Crusaders the ball back. Now Hawker to check it in.
KMC up 25, well in the driver's seat with 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. Just trying to keep it calm and sail on. And Hawker from three-point land, no good. No confusion on who was getting that ball, as Rudy is on the ground trying to get the jump ball. As that one will go in favor of KMC.
Good job by Hawker there, missing that three-point shot, realizing it and getting across the court to get that rebound, which would eventually result in that jump ball, giving Kapaun the ball back.
Rudy finding Sanders. Fury. Great passing by the Crusaders. The shot is thrown up by Hawker, and Rudy eventually gets it and throws it up for the bucket. And Reed at her three-point attempts, no good. Seems like all the Grizzlies have been shooting it tonight. Just trying to find the hot hand for them. Sanders on the three, no good. Deep pass by Navarrete as she finds Richard, no good. The Grizzlies trying to get a large transition pass on that one, as it comes up as a foul on the other side. Richard will shoot two. And her first is no good. Richard nails her second, 53-27. KMC well in possession. Jessie Kempf checking in for the Crusaders. And Knipp double teamed, finds Rudy. Knipp back in the corner. And Rudy on the backdoor pass, no good. Trying to save the ball. Grizzlies possession.
Kapaun continues to fight for those rebounds. Great job by them as this game is coming to a close, but they're still playing with full effort, making sure that they get all these players in to get the experience that they need.
And Knipp pokes that one away. Down the court still. She did not have possession as that one rolls out, and it's Grizzlies ball.
A switch on the defensive look for Kapaun here, as they're now running a 3-2 zone, trapping players in the corner on the wing. As Knipp runs into the bleachers there, she looks okay.
Great job by Knipp to poke that one out. Unfortunate, though, that ball soared out of bounds a little bit too far. Edwards slowing the game down for her team. Back to Edwards at the top of the key. Double teamed as she is fouled.
And Andrew, as this game comes to a close with 2 minutes left here in the whole game, what do you think both of these teams could take away from this one? Maybe what they need to improve on, what they looked good on?
Well, Grayson, KMC was very disciplined tonight, keeping their hands to themselves and not fouling as much. And they did a great job in transition. Coach Will Ingles told me earlier in the season that was one of their problems. They really need to fix that, and you could tell the work and time that they've put in transition play. This team, once they see a teammate down the court, They know exactly where to go, and they've been doing it all night long. It's been amazing to see the connection between Spears and Pfister down the court. If either one gets a steal, you know the other one will be down there ready for the pass. On the other side, the Grizzlies, they look to just have some type of offensive production. They've been missing shots left and right. Everybody trying to shoot the 3-ball like Reed right there, and it has not been falling for them. And I think that's just a hot hand of the night, but also trying to create better opportunities for their shooters. And KMC just trying to add some points to the board in the final minutes. Well in the driver's seat. Up by 26.
Rudy passes the ball off of the foot of a Northwest player to get the ball back. Some girls on the court right now that we have not seen a lot or at all this season. Definitely looking to get them some points, and having them on the court is great for the team to gain experience anywhere they can.
You're exactly right, Grayson. And many of these players could be starting varsity players next year. So any type of experience that they get playing in a varsity game right now will help later down the stretch. And Lohman dribbling the ball at midcourt, trying to find an open teammate as that one soars over the head of Richard. And KMC will get possession.
Missed passes and overthrown passes and drops and all sorts have been the plague of the Northwest offense tonight. A lot more opportunities if they could get the ball into the hands of one another safely and keep moving.
And foul is on Orr there, as she tried to find her way to the basket. Reed on the foul, her third of the night. And Cabrini Orr misses her first. And the second one does not fall. KMC, nice job getting down on defense as Lohman is down on the court on the other side. Rudy with the shot. Or fighting for the ball as it is another jump ball for the Crusaders.
So many jump balls this game. Not something you typically see. But Northwest with 5 seconds here to just get points on the board as this one is in Kapaun's hands.
And a last second shot makes this 53-27. KMC comfortably in the driver's seat all night long. And Grayson, do you have any final remarks about this game?
Kapaun definitely looking a lot better and solid and stable on the offensive side, continuing a lot of their hustle on defense, taking out a lot of their foul troubles, and doing a lot better and definitely continuing to develop.
You're exactly right, and KMC 4-4, finding a foothold in the G-Wall. I'm Andrew Greer.
And I'm Grayson Greer.
And we will see you for the boys game. Thank you. Hello and welcome to tonight's broadcast between the Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders and the Northwest Grizzlies. I'm Andrew Greer, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Grayson Greer.
Now, Grayson, Cape and Mount Carmel is red hot this season. 7-0 coming into tonight's game. Their last game, a win against West, 65-39, absolutely obliterating their competition, playing very strong in the late stretch of the season. Looking to make another deep playoff run for the Crusaders tonight. On your screen, number 5, Rocco Keller. Number 25, Brooks Powers at the top. Corbin Johnson, number 21. The senior, Will Thingvall, electric for this team. And finally, rounding off the court, number 22, Tegan Charles, another great senior leader for this team.
Quick foul there by Eli Benning, and he is accompanied on the court with Tashawn Williams, Darian Hamad, Jace Glasgow, and Jerome Pedersen.
And KMC finding a bucket early, trying to get back onto defense. And Grayson, this is going to be a fast-paced game tonight. Northwest coming into the game 7-1, led by Coach Andy Hill, his 6th season for the Grizzlies. 13-9 last season in 6A, trying to rebound, and they've been looking good thus far with their last win against Heights, 77-39. Their last win against West, 68-50, just like the Crusaders. And both these teams coming in very confident in their team, and they know exactly what they can do. As Johnson gets it to Powers. Thingvall no good. Playmakers getting it, doing playmaker things.
This Capen team has been insane on the offense this year. Will Thingvall especially from beyond the arc. The Capen faithful strong here tonight, looking to see Capen continue their dominance over the G-Wall this season, as their next matchup will come against the other dominant team in the G-Wall, Heights, top team in the 6A category, and that will be a matchup worth waiting for.
You're exactly right, Grayson, and that Heights team is very skilled, and kind of like this Northwest team, both 6A, so the Crusaders don't have to worry about them in the playoffs, but a great test for this regular season as Tegan Charles knocks down the spin-around jumper, one of his specialties.
Lots of experience on this Capen team. A couple young guys getting in the rotation as we look at number 5, Rocco Keller on the court as a sophomore.
And big 3 by Eli Benning, the junior. And Powers, a little mishap right there, almost cost him. Johnson, no good on the turnaround jumper. And Benning taking the ball down the court. Good pass to set up the 3 to Hamad. As Northwest hits 2 threes early.
Northwest coming out and showing Capen that they are not going to go down easy at all. Hitting 2 threes right away.
And KMC a little flustered there. Johnson and Powers earlier almost had a mishap, and Johnson had a mishap right there, trying to clean up that passing. That's something that they're normally very skilled at, but already in a deficit against Northwest. Not something you normally see from this very skilled Crusaders team.
Will Thingvall using his incredible speed to get down the court and just not even having to weave, just going straight to the hoop and converting there.
And Powers setting up the transition. Thingvall in the corner, made 6 threes last home game against the Golden Eagles. Decides to take it in himself for the easy layup. And the Grizzlies shooting another 3 as Johnson comes away with the rebound.
Northwest already looking great behind the arc with Darian Hammond, already hitting 2 for the Grizzlies.
And Johnson was able to keep that possession alive. No good, almost brought the Crusaders up with that 3-pointer. In the paint, no good. Henderson with the miss. Intercepted. Glasper intercepting Johnson's deep pass, trying to keep that one on wraps for the Crusaders. Johnson needs to calm down and focus up with his team. Wow.
Powers swatted there by a Grizzly player. Kapaun not looking so great on the offensive board and defensive board. Let Northwest have a second chance, which allowed Darian Hammond to hit his second three. And no shots falling either for the Crusaders so far.
And Charles with the third chance opportunity, and Grayson back to that pass block. That was Williams with the huge block on the Crusaders. Wow, he got up there and swatted Powers' shot. And Williams no good. Moving it down the court is Thingvall. Thingvall finding space. Good with the finger roll. And the three, good. That is Henderson, the senior. And Northwest aerating the KMC defense tonight, trying to hit everything as they have hit three from the perimeter. Very nice shooting thus far. Blaisdellian, this freshman, is in. And
That's
Johnson trying to slow down the game.
That's another key young player for this Kapaun team, as he has been the sixth man this season as a freshman.
And that was Powers' first bucket of the game. It came from the three-pointer. Great shooting by Powers. When I was talking to Corbin Johnson and Will Thingvall earlier in the season, both of them told me that this team has the opportunity for any of these players to have an absolute wild night. Any of these players are capable of superstardom, and Johnson said that if him, Thingvall, Tegan Charles, or Brooks Powers were all on different teams, they would be the superstar of that team. It just happens that they're all on the same team, being able to play together and collaborate with each other. And they are one heck of a team, one heck of a foursome. And Powers knocks down the first free throw of the game. KMC up by 4. 2 minutes left in the first. And this first quarter, Grayson, has gone by very quickly. Both teams keeping it very quick on offense. Not too many stoppages from fouls or from timeouts. No timeouts yet.
As you mentioned, not many stoppages from fouls. These refs definitely letting this game play out and be physical. A little bit opposite of the girls' game that we watched before this, but definitely some tangles, arms tangled together, and some physical play here by both teams, and the refs are just letting it happen.
And KMC unable to grab the rebound on that one. The Grizzlies capitalizing on that board. And Daniels using his spin move out to Dalian. No good for the freshman.
Both offenses looking great so far. If it continues this way and each team comes back at each other with points, it could be quite the shootout until the end. As Andrew mentioned, this first quarter has flown by, as this has been such a fast pace of play from either team, just running up and back the court. Both teams probably going to end up tired early in this one.
And Iku misses his first. As Powers checks in for Charles on the court. As his second misses. Powers taking the ball down the court for the Crusaders. Thingvall double team, trying to find an open man. Heaves that one up to Charles. Johnson. And Daniels finding his space. Good. KMC up by 5. As that one is good. Deep pass to Glasper to connect for the layup. And Daniels trying to calm his Crusaders, taking the ball up the court, using a spin move. As that one is stolen, Clasper with the steal. Benning moving it down the court. Big three, no good. As Williams with the shot. And Thingvall is blocked as well. Back and forth right here on the coast to coast.
That is
from Williams.
Tayson Williams, a very experienced senior guard for this Grizzly team, as you see there, as he lays it in over the junior Corey Daniels for the Crusaders.
And Williams 5'9" as a senior coming into this game. He is a playmaker, man. He has been all over the court, creating opportunities for his team.
Daniels hits the floor hard, as we heard it from up here, but he seems to be okay, laughing it off.
And the sophomore Rocco Keller checking in for Corey Daniels. Powers on for the inbound. Going to Thingvall, right to the basket, as that is good. 21-18, Cape Mount Carmel, as the quarter expires. A long shot was heaved up by Benning, as it is no good. Always a tough shot to make. You're always surprised when those go in. But KMC, well, the driver's seat in this back and forth.
Both teams having a strong offensive start here, as Capen only can hold a 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Northwest having a lot more points behind the arc right off the bat of the game. As we mentioned, Darian Hammond came off hot with 2. Capen not looking as strong from behind the arc, but finding more opportunities than this Grizzly team. Both teams making clean passes, getting good looks. Just ends up who can make those critical shots at the right times is who will end up in this lead.
You're exactly right, Grayson. And when I spoke with Corbin Johnson earlier today, he told me that when this team could not succeed from the perimeter, they're going to try to penetrate and get inside and score. And that is exactly what they're doing. They are a great all-around team, and the Crusaders always find a way to score, whether it be second chance opportunities or in the paint or kicking out to Thingvall, Johnson, or Powers for the three-point basket.
Speaking of those second chance opportunities, Capen having a few here, but probably not as many as they like. Northwest having some right off the bat, able to hit one more three-pointer, and Coach Eck could be in the huddle telling his guys to be more aggressive, as this game has been physical.
As Calvert's three-pointer is no good, wide open on that one, as that is Northwest possession.
And Henderson throws the ball out of bounds, missing the hands of Hammond.
And Northwest trying to establish their offense. Powers with the tight defense, double teaming. And Williams getting around KMC defenders, ball on the ground. Charles has it, as both teams getting in on that one, as tempers are flaring early.
Both Charles and Red in on that ball. Looks like while after the refs have blown the whistle for the foul, tempers may have been flaring, as something may have been said on either side, but broke that one up early before fouls.
And Powers getting it to Thingvall. No good. And Thingvall doesn't normally miss, as he hit 5 three-pointers earlier in the season against Bishop Carroll. A key game for the Crusaders, demolishing their crosstown rivals 66-45. And Johnson comes away with the basket as he is on the ground. Excuse me.
That opportunity made off of a great hustle play by Powers, absolutely diving into the Northwest Grizzly bench to make sure that ball came back into play. And that correction, that was an offensive foul on Johnson.
And Thingvall fights his way in the paint as that one is good. And Thingvall heads to the line for another opportunity. 3-point try for the Crusaders. And KMC 2 of 3 from the line tonight.
KMC extending that lead to 6, as that seems to be as much as they can really get here, as both teams just come back and make something.
And the dish to Hamad is good. Great job by number 4 getting into the paint, creating that opportunity. And Powers right around the defender as he is blocked in the end. KMC retaining possession. Johnson dishes it to Powers. Thingvall no good as he is fouled.
Foul on a Jadius Red. That is his second personal, and if you're the Northwest big man, you do not want to get in any foul trouble here against this Crusader team who has a lot of size.
And the Grizzlies a little upset after that foul call. Thingvall missing his first.
Number 15 plays daily. And the game for Northwest, number 2, Sean Williams.
50% from the field tonight. As his second is no good.
Checking in for KMC, number 12, Owen.
And Erlager checks in for the Crusaders. 6'2" junior adds a little bit of size in the paint for the Crusaders. And Benning on the perimeter, guarded by Powers. Trips, still gets the pass off though.
Eli Benning definitely wanting a foul there. The refs not giving it.
And Williams' pass is blocked, sending it to Charles. Charles takes it past half court, dishing it off to Keller. Powers trying to set up an opportunity for his team as that one is stolen. Pickpocketed by Glasper.
The entirety
That will be a personal foul. Number 23.
The entirety of the Northwest bench, fans, and team did not think that that one was a foul, but there's no reversing it, and Powers will get 2 here. Sorry, 1 and 1.
Powers knocks down his first. And his second is good as Powers has 7 points on the night. And Benning double teamed, gets the pass off to Glasper. And the Grizzlies trying to maneuver around this tight KMC defense, one of their strongest traits. When I spoke to Coach Eck earlier in the season, he told me that this team needed to turn that strong defense into strong offense, and that is exactly what they've been doing. But that just shows how great this defense is, that they're able to stop teams and force them to give the ball up. KMC is very dominant on both sides of the ball.
Both offenses seeming to take a little bit of a change in pace as they've slowed down, and not as many points here for either team so far in the second quarter. And that will be Dalian adding on to the point total for the
And Daly knocks down a second.
This Northwest team needs to be careful fouling at any level now, as the Crusaders are in the bonus, with the Grizzlies having 5 total team fouls.
And KMC will retain possession. As Powers inbounds for the Crusaders. And 5-second violation on the Crusaders on the inbound, as the Grizzlies will get the ball back. Benning double teamed. Williams from the perimeter, as he is also double teamed. Corbin Johnson told me earlier today that this team is just trying to stay with that help defense and make sure that these fast and athletic Northwest players are always guarded. There's always multiple guys on them, not allowing too many opportunities. He told me that the perimeter is not their strongest suit, so forcing them to the outside is a little bit better than forcing them inside, as they are much stronger there.
One thing that helps this Kapaun team and helps any team is just straight up effort. And that is shown on both offensive side of the glass and defensive by Kapaun. You mentioned the help defense. Every Kapaun player is very aware of what is going on in the court around them and can help and get there, and they are nonstop, full effort.
Williams is no good on the floater. Johnson's deep pass just soars right over the head of Charles into the stands.
And that is Johnson's second pass already that he's oversailed or thrown it to the defense. Maybe he needs to steer away from those deep passes that he's trying to force. Maybe go for something a bit safer.
And Johnson had big eyes when he saw Charles right down the court. However, it was a little bit too much. He bit off a little bit too much to swallow on that one. And if there's any mistakes by this Crusaders team, it would just be biting off more than they can chew and trying to get those deep passes. They're great to look at getting the ball around. However, those transition passes have not gone their way tonight.
Northwest starting their possession here, as Tejon Williams will bring the ball down the court.
And a big shot, no good by Hammond. Johnson with the rebound.
Hammond's not able to make that one fall.
And Thingvall trying to move off the screen from Charles as he gets that one to Johnson in the corner. However, that'll be Grizzly ball.
That Northwest defense not willing to budge there, as they did not let the Crusaders get a clear opportunity to score.
And Henderson getting it as there's another foul called on Charles, his second of the game, as Rocco Keller comes into the game. And Glasper's pass soars out of bounds.
That is the freshman Blaze Dalian on the defense, not letting the pass be successful, as he's in the way and not letting the Northwest Grizzlies have a clear path of where they're even throwing the ball.
Johnson in the corner, moving around into the paint. Great job in his lab, hooking up the basket. Now one off the backboard, still inbounds. Johnson fighting for that one as Rocco Keller gets it to Thingvoll. Thingvoll down the court. As the rebound and putback is good by Urlacher. A strange sequence of events right there. However, KMC able to go right with it.
KMC personal foul is on the road. His first, team's third.
This Northwest offense looking to get some points on the board here, as in the first quarter is an absolute shootout between both teams, 4 points. And now Kapaun has grown their lead to 14. As Northwest this whole second quarter has not been able to get a great opportunity on offense.
And the long three by Williams, no good. Williams, second chance, no good as well. 2 misses, back to back.
This Kapaun offense is sometimes like poetry. It just flows and can get passes moving and get guys running through lanes very well.
Johnson to Thingvoll. Thingvoll, big pass to Dalian, the freshman, as that is good. As he sinks that one.
Layup by Williams. Timeout. Northwest.
Timeout called by the Grizzlies. And
Good steal by Tayshawn Williams there, getting back those points right before the time ran out. Definitely a possibility of discussion in this Northwest huddle is how to get their offense back resuming and get those points back on the board like they were in the first quarter.
you're exactly right, Grayson. They're just trying to find an area of success and find their shooting lanes, find where they can drive in and get points in the paint. They've done a great job of that tonight, and they do a great job of just finding the open teammate. However, KMC has been airtight on defense tonight as they try to keep those turnovers absent and stay level-headed.
Kapaun coming out here with possession. It'll be Dalian to throw in the ball. Looks like Northwest will be trying to double team ball carrier in the backcourt, but that'll be a foul on Franklin Aku.
And that is Eku's second of the game. And not too many Northwest players in foul trouble quite yet. However, it might be close to that as KMC is in the bonus. Johnson with his third point of the game.
Kapaun coming back from a long Christmas break with a dominant win over West. Definitely helps to have a break like that when a holiday occurs. Get some rest and get back on the court and do what you do best after.
You're exactly right, Grayson. And Corbin Johnson told me earlier that they are just itching to play. They're ready to get back on the court and make some waves with this team. And taste the sweet, sweet taste of success later in the playoffs.
As any athlete knows, it takes a lot of sweat and time in practice to get to the point of the success that both of these teams have had. Both teams work incredibly hard, and that's how they get to these points.
And both those knocked down by the Grizzlies. Thingvoll double teamed, trying to set something up. The press is tight by the Grizzlies, as that one is knocked away by Williams. Henderson up, no good. Williams finding it again. Johnson double teamed again. The Grizzlies with the press with under a minute left in the first half.
Johnson once again trying to squeeze A long pass into a window. That is a little bit interesting, but that one was caught but then poked away.
And KMC with a respectable lead of 14 points, just trying to hold on to that, just trying to stay in the driver's seat going into halftime, not trying to let too much happen in between that time. And Williams and Benning at the top of the court, trying to dribble this one out, not force too much. As a hard hit.
Calvert will be shooting 2 here.
Calvert hit the ground hard. Never something you want to see from any type of player on KMC or not.
It was the second personal on Powers. Not too bad considering we only have 12 seconds left before the half. So no one in this game in any foul trouble.
And Corey Daniels checks in with 12 seconds left in the first half.
I'm excited to see what kind of pressure Northwest puts on the Crusaders here. It looks like there'll be a full court press trying to get some points on the board and steal this one away before half.
And Will Thingvall driving down the court quickly, trying to create an opportunity as that one is hit out of bounds by Benning. The pass intended for Dalian.
See what Kapaun draws up here to try to get some points with 5 seconds left.
Dalian fighting the defender as the ball is stuck with 1 second left in the half. Always an anomaly when you see that in a game. Always a quick stoppage of play makes the crowd gasp for a second.
So now it gives Kapaun 1 second left with the ball because it was their possession. And Johnson nearly misses the 3 right before the half. I'm Grayson Greer.
And I'm Andrew Greer, and we'll see you after halftime as the KMC Palmies dance team will lead us off. Hello and welcome back to tonight's broadcast. I'm Andrew Greer and I'm joined by my co-host
Grayson Greer.
And tonight the 7-0 Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders are leading the 7-1 Northwest Grizzlies 39-27. KMC well in the driver's seat tonight, having all the control on offense. And KMC just, they've been able to hit every point of attack tonight. They've had great defense. They've been able to play great in the paint. They've shot a little bit. So Grayson, tell me a little bit about that first half.
If you're just now joining us, a 12-point lead does not do this game justice. It has been quite the entertaining game, back and forth scoring from both teams. It just happened to slow down a little bit for Northwest in the second quarter, and that's how Kapaun gained their 12-point lead.
And Henderson's shot is no good as Johnson is going down the court, double teamed, as that one will go in the other direction for the Grizzlies. And Williams taking the ball up the court for Northwest. Guarded by Thingvall and Keller. Double teaming by the Crusaders in that help defense as Glasper collects his bucket.
Northwest coming out here, continuing the full court press that they did in the second quarter, trying to slow down Kapaun to getting across the court.
And Powers' pass is intercepted as Ahmad goes coast to coast, no good. However, as Grizzlies will be sent to the line. Powers with his third foul of the game.
The Grizzlies looking pretty good on the free throw line so far this game. Something that is pretty inconsistent with teams, I feel like, that we've seen so far this year. Kapaun definitely hasn't been the best at it, but they have been improving.
And Hamon's second falls for him. Will Thingvall taking it up for the Crusaders. Up by 8, trying to keep his team well in the driver's seat.
An interesting thing about this Kapaun offense, with no true oversized postman, you see smaller guys, as Kapaun has size all across the board, you see guys like Tegan Charles down there trying to post up.
And that transition was a favorable shot for Glasper. Just missed the easy, wide open transition. Decided to dunk and get a little bit flashy, and the worst happened.
With that missed dunk, one thing we've seen from Coach Eck is he tries to get his players not to dunk, even though sometimes that adrenaline can overtake their thought process. Because just like that is a prime example, you could have had a free lay in there, free 2 points on the transition, and bring that Kapaun lead down to 4, which is the closest it has been in a while. But instead you end up with a small mistake like that.
And that's just something that they just are talking about in that huddle, just trying to work things over and not make that mistake again. And that's always an anomaly in basketball. Whenever that happens, players always consider it and they always think that over, and then they won't do it again later in the game.
Yes, definitely. You always learn from your mistakes. I mean, every coach has probably told their players that.
And Thingvall having trouble from Benning. However, Thingvall takes it in himself, no good, as he is fouled.
Yeah, Thingvall drawing the foul there. Looks like he got hit in the side of the head, kind of by his ear. Definitely a good way to drive in the paint and make contact and draw that one.
And that play by Thingvall must have been brainstormed by Coach Steve Eck, as Coach Eck has drawn up some brilliant plays for this team all year long, just trying to keep it creative and keep the other teams on their toes, as they are, as KMC, one of the top-ranked teams in the state of Kansas all around. Keller's pass to Urlacher. Their second chance opportunity is good. And Grizzlies back to the top of the court, just trying to assess things. And that one is good by Benning, the junior. And Thingvall trying to keep his team ahead, up by 7. Grizzlies trying to put him in a jail, keep him locked up.
Northwest continues with that full court press. Great effort here by Jace Glasper to continue to stay with Will Thingvall as he comes down the court, as he's been holding him to where he's kind of getting into some pressure moments, close to a 10-second violation, getting across half court.
Yeah. And one thing about Thingvall, Johnson, Powers, they've been able to carve up this defense all night long, and the Grizzlies have not had much of an answer except for that double team, that trap defense. That seemed to slow down this offense by quite a bit and keep KMC conservative.
I think one thing we're seeing as Northwest maybe ran out of gas in that second quarter, and that's why they stopped scoring as much. But now they have had their rest at half and filled up their tanks, and now have brought that lead down to 7.
And Benning at the top of the key, guarded by Johnson, gets up the shot, good, with the mid-range jumper. Thingvall trying to keep his team in check, trying to keep them calm. Johnson from the perimeter. The screen from Dalian into Charles, good, as Charles will head to the line for a 3-point opportunity.
That's a great effort by Charles there, fighting his way up to the rim, drawing that foul, while also finishing the bucket, giving Kapaun great opportunity to increase their lead here.
And like they say, Grayson, pressure like that builds diamonds. And that is exactly what Tegan Charles is, a diamond for this KMC offense.
One thing that this Kapaun offense has been doing to Northwest all year is making sure they cut through the paint all throughout offense, never having a man stand still, always moving, trying to get opportunities.
And Henderson in the corner, good! A big 3 from him. He's been hitting all night long, finding his spot. Him and Tayson Williams have been able to find their cards, and their number has been called from the perimeter.
Kapaun making it quite hard for this Northwest team to find those opportunities to shoot, but still finding them, as Eli Benning hits a 3 from pretty deep range there.
And this Grizzlies team just feeding off one another from the 3-point land. They've been able to hit those big ones.
That foul is on Jace Glasper, as he did not want that one. As he was saying, Thingvall was pushing off of him as they came down the court. It's a tough situation to be in as a defender.
And Thingvall screened by Dalian, onto Dalian. In the corner, Charles where he eats in the best spot, as foul is called. The Grizzlies not enjoying that one, thinking the ref is wrong for that.
And that will put the Crusaders into bonus here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this third quarter, and that could severely hurt the Grizzlies here, as any foul will put them on the line. Looks like a Jadius Red is checking in for Northwest, as he will replace Darian Hammond.
And this is Red's first appearance of the night, as he provides a little bit of size for the Grizzlies. Henderson coming down with the rebound. As Williams signaling to his teammates, trying to set up a play. No good. Glasper in the corner. Johnson with the rebound.
That one not even close to making it into the net there.
And another personal foul is called. That one on Henderson, his third of the night. Not a great path to victory for them, getting their star players in foul trouble. They're just trying to keep them out, trying to keep them disciplined, try to keep their hands to themselves. As Johnson's second is good.
Kapaun increasing their lead to 7 here, as they've been able to maintain about that margin of clearance from the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies keep chipping away to try to fight back into this one.
And that was Johnson's first foul of the game. Great night from him. Very solid all around, keeping his team in check. And Johnson is on Benny, double teaming him. Glasper in the corner, moving around defenders, finding the wide open Red for the and one opportunity.
The JDS Red coming up with the huge play for the Grizzlies here with the three-point opportunity. And if he makes this free throw, that will bring the Kapaun lead back down to 4, which is definitely what they want on the Grizzlies sideline.
And the Red is no good on the play, however. Rebounded by Henderson. 2 points added on to that. 50-47, cutting the KMC lead down just to 3 points. Gordon Johnson leading his team as a pilot, trying to navigate them to a win.
No team has had a huge breakdown so far on either side of the ball. Definitely saying solid on both sides. Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary for either.
And up by 3. 2:28 left in the third quarter play. KMC trying to stay in the driver's seat, trying to do everything they can, show their dominance against this very skilled Northwest Grizzlies team.
Coach Eck has done a great job of coaching this team, and he has a great assistance on the sideline when Coach Carney, Conley, the Heberts, they do a great job of helping him out, kind of like the president's cabinet.
And that one grabbed by Benning. KMC trying to create something out of that. And like you said, Grayson, there's a very skilled KMC coaching staff, as Coach Stevek, excellent coach, but he has a great group around him to back him up, as Glasper will shoot 2 for the Grizzlies.
Coach Eck has a legendary history, not only in the G-Wall, but also in all of Kansas, as he has been successful at junior colleges and in the G-Wall schools such as South.
And both teams in the bonus at the moment. KMC trying to stay disciplined down the stretch, as Powers fighting for the ball. Both teams going at it, still staying aggressive in this game.
Powers wanting foul there. It looked like every limb of his was getting grabbed from every which way, but not getting one called, as it will stay Northwest possession.
And Benning for the inbound to Glasper. That one tipped by Dalian, out of bounds, Grizzlies ball.
definitely a huge possession here for the Grizzlies to bring this lead down as it sits at 3 points right now. Definitely looking for more defensive stops as they have gotten on Kapaun in this end of this third quarter.
That one's tipped again. That one by Keller. And Benning out to Williams. Deep three, no good. However, Henderson grabbed the rebound, keeping his team alive. Big three, Benning is good. You can tell he's been in the workshop working on his craft. Big three by the Grizzlies.
Eli Benning, definitely a fan favorite here for the Grizzlies as he just brought this entire crowd into it for momentum.
Benning's transition opportunity, no good. As under a minute left in the third quarter, Thingvall thought about shooting it there. Pass it off to Dalian. Good for the three-pointer by the freshman.
Huge answer from Blaze Dalian, the freshman here, to bring the game back.
And that is exactly what this crowd needed. It's electric here at Cape Mount Carmel. Big three, Williams, no good. Rebound grabbed by Keller. And Powers trying to settle his team in.
Kapaun looking to score here at the end of the third quarter as they have 8 seconds remaining.
No good. Dalian, another big three. Williams, no. Trying to get a last second buzzer beater to tie it up before the end of the third quarter. And these teams back and forth. This three-point lead has fluctuated quite frequently between them.
Northwest doing a great job coming out of the half, reviving their offense to what it was in that first quarter, while also bringing more prominence to the defensive side, getting stops on Kapaun, and bringing the Crusaders to a slower rate of their scoring. The Crusaders definitely looking for a new way maybe to set up a different defense to stop this Grizzly team from hitting three-pointers, getting in the paint, and outworking them at the glass here. Coach Eck definitely knows what he's doing down there, though, so we'll see what he draws up for this Kapaun team.
You're exactly right, Grayson. Both teams in a back and forth is always the most exciting type of high school basketball. Electric in the crowd and on the court. You can tell there's just a different air about that last quarter towards the end. Everybody was on their feet on both benches as it was tense. That three-point lead did not come easily for the Crusaders thus far.
Let's see with Kapaun getting the ball here if they can extend their lead from three, as it has sat as a three-point lead for quite a while now.
Powers guarded by Benning. To Johnson in the corner, to Thingvall, double teamed. No good. Charles with the rebound, giving it back to Thingvall. As the Grizzlies come down with that red with the rebound. Benning down the court. He's electric and fast as he is fouled.
A foul on Corbin Johnson here. Coach Eck definitely not happy with that one, as it looked like Corbin Johnson's hand just touched the ball, not even the Northwest player. But cannot be reversed on that one.
And Henderson trying to dribble around this KMC defense. Off to Benning. Benning with the three. No good. Off the mark. As that will be KMC's ball.
This has been a complex game so far between both teams with the strategies, different ways of trying to stop each other. As both teams play with such a fast pace, usually Kapaun is able to outpace the opposing team, but this Northwest team managing to keep up with them has definitely put a kink in their plans here.
Johnson for the mid-range jumper, as that is good. Saw that one in his sights and he nailed it. Out to Henderson for the three, no good. And this has slowly become a three fest from either side. Both teams just trying to gain any advantage. KMC up by 5. Thingvall double teamed. Out to Powers. His first three of the night, good. And another three brings the KMC lead up to 8 points.
What a three from Powers. This game has been nothing short of a dramatic game by both sides. Just absolutely throwing up shots on either side and managing to find them.
And Charles with the and one down the court and converting on the transition bucket. Huge play by the Crusaders.
Definitely a huge play by Charles here, as Kapaun is trying to find nails to put in the coffin of this game for this Northwest Grizzly team to put this one away. But Northwest is not going to go down easy like we have seen all game.
And Charles hits his and one opportunity, bringing tonight up to 11 points by the senior.
With this game being so great, the crowd has gotten into it, with Kapaun commemorating their alumni tonight with Alumni Night. So we have great crowd here as Northwest is trying to respond to this Kapaun offense.
And Johnson tried to maneuver around Benning to Thingvall in the paint. Good. Great play by the senior and junior connection.
Jace Glasper will find a line in the Kapaun defense that was not covered right after that layup. Just threw one down the court and got a quick layup. And a timeout called for Northwest, maybe to get their guys back in it. Maybe a little morale's down on that side, but great way to put some points on there real quick.
And on the surface of that play, Grayson, it looks like that was just the normal 2-point conversion for the Grizzlies. However, I think that was a pivotal moment right there that gets the Grizzlies back into the game. They call the timeout, they draw up something, and they're not out of this yet. This is still a very close game. 9 points is a lot, but this is a very skilled Grizzlies team. However, KMC talking things over as well. They know exactly what they need to do. They have a great coach who trusts them and knows exactly how to win this game.
Definitely a 9-point lead is nothing to be afraid of if you're the Northwest Grizzlies. Still plenty of time left in this one with 5.5 minutes. That's plenty of time to get something going. So let's see how this one folds out in this last quarter.
Powers finding Thingvall on the inbound. Thingvall guarded by Benning all night long. Those two have had a tough matchup. Charles setting the pick. Dalian has been hot from 3. Off to Thingvall, no good. Powers with the rebound to Charles, good. The friend connection between those two, as both of them were on the list of all city last year. And that is Colvert with the ball, trying to get around Charles. Back to Benning at the perimeter. No good. Deep pass to Thingvall. Pump fake. Good by the senior, number 4. 16 points on the night.
Nathan Thingvall definitely has a rise of talent from last year, getting a lot more court time, leading this Kapaun team, and has extended what he is able to do to bring to this Kapaun team. Looks like Tashawn Williams dealing with what seems to be maybe a cramp, but some sort of injury on his left leg.
as he gets stretched out to the Northwest bench.
And the fourth foul for Benning, key player in tonight's game, 12 points from the field. And he's been good all night long on defense, on offense, both sides of the ball from the perimeter. He shot very well. And he's been a key part in guarding Dingval. Poked out of the hands of Powers, down the court. Good. Hamad with the transition layup.
Definitely a good play by Hammond there. As Dingval looks to increase the Kapaun lead that was once at 3 points this quarter, but now 11 as Kapaun got going on their offense once again after the timeout.
And that's the power of this KMC offense. They can blossom a 3-point lead into a 13-point lead or a 7-point lead or whatever. They just have that power, and they're capable of so much. And Benning taking it around the screen. Back to Culvert. And back to Benning, guarded by Thingval all night long. Benning double teamed, good. Found a way to convert the bucket.
Great play by Benning there to absorb the contact and still make that opportunity count.
And Benning with his 5th foul tonight, 14 points, excellent game as he will check out for number 13, Franklin Duke. And Benning has played very excellent tonight. Might have even made me a fan of him, just an electric player. A player to watch in the G-Wall all year long.
The Northwest coach, Andy Hill, high-fiving his player coming off the court, as you never want to see one of your players foul out, but he brought a lot to the table for this Grizzlies team tonight and his time on the court.
Calvert's shot is no good. Charles with the rebound. Fighting through Luke with it. And that just highlights the resilience of this KMC team, even up by 9 points like they are now. They continue to stay aggressive and not let up. Big three by the senior Tayson Williams.
Definitely a big one. He looked Will Thingval dead in the eyes. He's like, I'm still here. Don't count us out. And that will be Kapaun's first timeout of the half, taken by Coach Steve Eck, as the lead has now been brought back down to 6.
And you never know, Grayson, this KMC lead fluctuates often. At some points, this Grizzlies offense can have this lead fall like timber in the woods. And sometimes this KMC offense just gets ahead of them and is able to create as many opportunities as they want. So we'll see what either side has planned coming out of this break.
Something Coach Steve Eck could be looking at, as Andrew has mentioned, is the fluctuation in the prominence of the offense and the amount of points scored, and then it falls back down. Something you definitely want on your basketball team is consistency. You don't want to not know when you're going to be good and have things go your way. You want to make sure that you know what is about to happen on the court.
And I'd say fluctuating scores just comes as a part of playing a very difficult team like the Grizzlies, 7-1 on their season. They're not a team to take lightly. Johnson double teamed out to Charles. Charles with the mid jumper, no good. Off the hands of the Grizzlies. Excuse me, the Crusaders. In the hands of the Grizzlies now.
Corbin Johnson fighting to get that ball back, but ended up just swatting it out of bounds, giving Northwest this possession with 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
And Williams dribbling it for his team, taking it around, and a mishap by Henderson. Not a time when you want to lose the ball. Charles, wide open pass to Dalian for three, no good. Off the hands of Thingvall. Thingvall hit the court as he is slow to get up.
Looks like Thingvall rolled over the ankle of Tassan Williams as Williams' shoe came off. Surprised some contact there, but Thingvall seems to be walking it off. Does not seem to be a grave matter injury.
And Hamon giving it to Henderson on the pass off. Henderson, the ball getting away from him a little bit. Still finds a way to get up the shot, no good.
Great hustle by Henderson there. Losing the ball, but still fighting to try to get an offensive board there, but just misses.
And Johnson is fouled with 1:19 left in the game. 67-61, KMC up by 6. I would not be surprised if the Grizzlies start fouling in the next couple seconds.
6-point lead, a little bit more comfortable for the Crusaders as time winds down. Definitely not something to be too comfortable with. But Northwest definitely trying to cause something that will put them back into chances.
Wide open shot by Dalian. It is good. And wow. Dalian, the freshman, his third three-pointer of the game.
Kapaun wanting a late foul there on the Grizzlies as Corbin Johnson was laid out near the logo at half court, but refs seem to have missed it. Maybe a technical there, intentional, as tempers are starting to flare as the game is winding down.
KMC up by 9. Excuse me, up by 8. Excuse me, 9, sorry. Johnson guarding Williams. Williams trying to get up a shot, no good. As Glasper falls to the court hard. Johnson on the other side, no good on the transition. However, he will be fouled, be sent to the line.
Williams trying to draw the three-point shot, but the verdict was that he was trying to draw it, and Johnson did not make contact there.
And could that be the last straw in the game, the straw that broke the camel's back of the Grizzlies? And the KMC crowd being hyped up after Johnson's first make.
The play of Northwest cannot be understated tonight, though. Should not be shoved under the rug, as they fought so hard to make this one go their way. But they put great effort, and at the end of the day, the Crusaders came out on top as they hold up a 10-point lead here with 30 seconds left.
And Grayson, tonight was a maze. KMC had to weave through so many chances of adversity. But that is what makes a great team, and that is why they were the state championship runner-ups last year. And hopefully this year they will have a shot to run it back to the state championship game and maybe the opportunity to win. As this team has all the pieces to do some harm in the playoffs and make their name heard throughout the state. And
as you mentioned, the state runner-up last year, losing to Andover in that heartbreaking loss. Lots of key pieces returning to this Kapaun team, such as Will Thangvall, Brooks Powers, Tegan Charles, and a bunch more. But also they gained so much more experience in this offseason, spending more time on the court. One thing that could affect it, though, is those more young guys getting the time, such as Blaze Dalian being the main six-man, looking with less experience. But as we've seen so far, it has proven to not matter, as he's looked like he's almost a veteran out there, and he's done great with it. So we'll see how this goes for the Kapaun team. Still lots of regular season play left.
You're exactly right, Grayson, and this team does not cower at the pressure. They accept it, and they face it head on, just like tonight, doing all that they could to come away with the victory. As up by 4 possessions, seems to be in their hands.
The Williams at the line, trying to add some more points to the board, but it seems that they will not matter at the end of the night here.
As Williams hits his first. Just another point to add to the board, another point to add to the stats. And Williams has 11 on the night. Johnson trying to slow things down for his team. Trying to suppress all forms of scoring for the Grizzlies.
Northwest still full court pressing, just for the slight chance that they could get back in this game. But unfortunately, Kapaun is in the double bonus, so that foul will result in 2 free throws from Johnson, who's good at the free throw line. In these critical moments, like now, it's tough to have a team in the bonus like that if you're the Northwest Grizzlies, so all of your fouls bring the Crusaders to the line.
And this win just shows KMC has the right mold to run it back again, playing against one of the best teams in the G-Wall. Like we said, as Will Thingvall throws it down as time winds down. What a great way to end this game, 75-63. An incredible game between these two teams. In the end, KMC prevails over the Northwest Grizzlies.
And KMC will be 8-0 heading into their next matchup against the highly skilled Heights Falcons. And we will not be with you for that one, as it is an away game. But we hope to see Kapaun continue their success.
I'm Andrew Greer.
And I'm Grayson Greer.
And have a good night. Thank you.